Hello everybody. Today I've decided to do something a little bit different. I would like to call this segment Ask Bree, where people DM me, inbox me, or email me questions about myself or, my opinions on, different things, my outlook on different things. Um, so there's this one person who sent me something that was actually pretty serious. He goes by the name of Vital, not Vital, from London, UK. And this question is actually pretty broad. He asked me what was my thoughts on mental illness within the Black community. I can personally say that charity begins at home. So before I say the whole community, I want to start off at home, because within the Black culture, we were often raised to be like, all right, when there's a problem, you sweep it under the rug, or you just, act like it didn't happen, or go to church, pray about it, and it'll be over. And the only reason why we were taught that way was because the generation before them was taught that way, and so on and so forth. So pretty much everybody's conditioned to think like that. And if you came to a family member talking about like you feel like you want to end your life or anything like that, they more, it's most likely they're going to demonize you for it. They're going to say that, you're doing that, you're being weak. There's people that's going through way more stuff than you. I've been through things in my life and I ain't think about killing myself. That's dumb. You're being selfish and all this other stuff. And it's kind of like, I don't know if they think that's really helping, because they don't know how to respond. Like, our older generation doesn't know how to respond to that, so they believe that speaking like that is like pep talk to be like, all right, moving forward, I'll be all right, because I'm not going to do that because I'm not weak. So it doesn't always work that way. Actually, it can make things worse, because if they have family members who can't really talk to them or be open with them or give options to them, they often go outside of their household and look for it outside, meaning like there's a chance the people who are depressed and they're going out looking for something else, it can really end up bad. And also within Black families, if you even talk about like wanting to speak to a therapist or like a psychologist or anything, you know what they say: man, we don't do that. That's white people stuff. Like we don't do that. Like that's all white people stuff. And just, pretty much take it up the chin and just leave it at that. I don't even know where this rooted from. I don't know where this started. I kind of like wish that it was never a thing, but I can't tell my folks that like, yo, like, get out that mentality. It's something that they got to learn on their own. So like, do I fully blame them? To an extent, because one, again, we're conditioned to think like that. Two, because I don't know, it's just like they probably didn't know how to speak things out when it came to their problems and stuff. But then at the same time, you weren't in your family's house all day 24/7 365, so therefore you went outside of that and you saw the world for what it is. So I'm pretty sure that that there are different ways of doing things, but I guess it just goes this way. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't speak for people who think like that. I just think that's very corner-minded. And people who face depression within the Black community are afraid to talk to their peoples about it because of those reasons, and because they're being demonized for it. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to the older people. We can't speak to our grandma, we can't speak to our grandpapa, or anybody down that line, aunts, uncles, great aunts, uncles, about these situations, because what do? They hear you, they listen to you, but then when you turn your back, they're going around talking about you, demonizing you. They're not really uplifting you, but they have the idle time to talk about you all day, but they won't try to help you. And I think, like I said, charity begins at home. Like, I believe that we really need to speak about this with our families. It's a problem. And we over here, you know, when I was younger, I saw people in my family, and I'm just like, what is wrong with them? Why do they act like that? Like, why do I have crackers in my family? Why do I have child molesters in my family? You know, why do I have alcoholics in my family? Like, why do I have these type of people in my family? Like, did they just wake up and want to do that? 9 times out of 10, no. It's because they have a problem. They don't know how to talk about it. All they know how to do is pray about it and just sweep it under the rug. And they do things like this because it's not, I'm not gonna say they don't know any better, but it's because they don't know how to react to certain things, so they have to go a different route with it. So my outlook on that is, you know, I can't really call it a community first, like the black community first. Like, we got to start with the main source, which is the family. We need to stick together. I'm not talking about sticking together at family reunions and funerals and holidays. Like, really stick together when it comes to this, because I'm telling you, if I had my family, you know, communicating with me and I could tell them about certain things, I probably wouldn't, well, I'm not depressed anymore, but I wouldn't be as depressed as I was before. You know what I mean? And as for me, who used to be depressed, I would be so afraid to even talk to my family. And if I even think about going outside my family, like in school, talk to a counselor or anything like that, I'm getting my ass beat. Like, that was just that. Like, you don't tell these white folks your business. Now they're going to think da-da-da-da-da. Instead of them saying, like, dag, I know that this is a problem now because you have to go reach outside of your family to talk to somebody that's not your family and somebody's actually getting paid for it or anything like that. They're not really thinking like, damn, this is really a problem because she's stepping out or he's stepping out of the family to talk to somebody else because we don't know how to reach out. Maybe we need therapy. Maybe we need to know how to communicate. Nope. They'll blame everybody else. It's crazy. Like I said, like, I hope, Vito, this answers your question. I felt myself getting really frustrated and I really wanted to go, like, break it down to a science. But I feel like right now is not the time. I don't want to go too in on it. But like I said, no, say it again, I'll say it again. My only thing that I feel as though it's going to help a little bit with the relief of it is to talk to families. I mean, for the most part, it's also a good thing that we have, like, celebrities coming out more and more about the depression and stuff that they face. So, like, just in case, you know, the families don't talk to these depressed, you know, folks at all, they got these celebrities that they're like, oh, you know what? This person can relate to me. That's a blessing within itself. So that's a good thing. But like I said, like, it's nothing like family. And I know I got some older people that look at my YouTube channel, and I'm telling y'all right now, stop avoiding your kids. Stop avoiding, like, the youth. Stop thinking, oh no, these days they're too grown, they do this, they too free, they too that. Like, no, really sit down and have a conversation. I don't care if you go camping or anything like that, where you got to turn off, like, well, not turn off, but there's no Wi-Fi, there's no technology. It's just you and family and conversation. And y'all really talk about some things, because you don't know how much relief that is for that person, unless you want them to go outside and find it somewhere else, which sometimes isn't good. And as far as friends, if you know, if you have a friend that's depressed, you know, be there for them as much as possible. I mean, I know you can't be there all the time, but be there for them as much as possible. Like, stick by them, And another thing is, if this person's talking about, oh man, I'm really going through it and have they rough days, I would strongly suggest that y'all don't always be like, all right, you having a rough day, let's go out to drink, let's go smoke, let's go to the club, because sometimes, like, I mean, most of the times that doesn't really help. It's kind of like you're enabling the situation, but you're not meaning to, but it doesn't really help. But yeah, like I said, we need to talk more with our family before I even talk about the whole community. So hopefully I did answer your question. Yes, I'm done here because, like I said, I feel myself going more in, but I feel as though that's a conversation for another time. If you have any questions or comments or anything, you can comment below. And that's it. You guys have a great night. Peace.